Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on...
Is gonna be my way worse.
It's my least favourite part of the job.
So, what did I think of Renfield? It's alright. It's an okay film. It's not great, it's not amazing or anything, but it's alright, I guess. I mean, I think that the cinematography is alright, but it can, to be honest, I feel like it can kind of sort of get a little, very fast paced and, just, it can get a little too fast paced at times. As for the pace, this, to be honest, this is not a very long film. It's only an hour and 33 minutes long. But, I'll be honest though, for a film with a runtime of 1 hour and 33 minutes, it can feel a little long for that runtime. The sounds and music was decent. I thought the soundtrack, the sound effects, they were decent enough. Nothing amazing or anything, but they were solid. And now for the editing, I'll be honest, the editing in the film was a little bit weak, honestly. It just, sometimes the editing can kind of get a little, it can just get way too fast paced, and it's just, keeps on going from shot to shot to shot, and yeah, so I found the editing honestly kind of weak. Now as for the characters, Renfield himself is alright. He's a decent enough protagonist. Nicholas Hoult's performance is alright. He's an okay character, in my opinion. Then we also have Rebecca Quincy, who is this police officer that, lost her father to this crime family called the Lobos. And she herself is a decent character. However, her kind of part of the film's plot, I was not really a huge fan of, but I'll talk more about that soon enough. The Lobos themselves, they weren't the worst villains. I thought that Teddy was an alright villain, and I did quite like Ben Schwartz's performance as this really mad gangster. Quite a different role compared to Sonic the Hedgehog, and they also have his mother as well, Bella Francisca, and she's alright as a villain, but again, they're kind of part parts of this film's plot I wasn't a huge fan of, but again, I'll talk more about that in a minute. But to be honest, aside from Teddy and Bella Francisca, the rest villains I just did not really care about, to be honest. I thought that all the people at the support group were pretty good from the scenes that they got. But of course, all the characters, the standout has got to be Count Dracula himself. I mean, Nicolas Cage, he is absolutely the standout of this cast. Like, I think he's easily the best part of the film. He's really what carries this movie, in my opinion. Like, his performance is actually so good. Like, I mean, some of you might find the idea of him playing Count Dracula pretty kind of wild, but I'm not gonna lie though, he is actually very good as Dracula. Like, I expected his take of Dracula to be a bit more of a sillier one, which it kind of is, to be fair, but nonetheless, he actually does a very good performance as the Count. He really makes it his own. Now, as for the film's plot, I'll admit, this film has, like, a very, it has a very, like, interesting plot, of like, Renfield getting tired of being Dracula's familiar and kind of wanting to just be his own person. It is a very interesting plot. However, I'm not really a huge fan of how the film executed, because, don't get me wrong, I do like the scenes of Renfield and Dracula. They're definitely, like, the highlight of the film. But the film also has the whole plot about the Lobos, which leads me to the film's narrative structure. And I'm going to be honest, the narrative structure of this film is actually quite weak. Because the thing is, this film, it kind of feels like two movies at once, where, like, you have one half that's about Renfield, like, trying to, like, live his own life instead of just being Dracula's familiar, which is a great plot. But then you, like, definitely sounds like a really fun film, alright, but then you have this other plot about, the Lobos and Rebecca Quincy wanting to take them down as revenge for, killing her father. And like, to be perfectly honest, I was not a huge fan of that subplot at all. I feel like, I was really just more interested in the whole plot about Dracula and Renfield. I wasn't really interested in this whole plot about this massive crime family and stuff. I guess I said, it kind of just feels like two movies at once, and yeah, so I think this film was very weak on narrative structure. The way they come together in the end, it's all right, but, like, still though, this film, it does feel like two movies at once, and, like, I was really more interested in one half over the other. I didn't really come to watch a plot about this crime family. I just came to watch a fun Dracula film, So yeah, it's safe to say that I was a little disappointed with this movie, because I did have a fair few issues with it, but to be fair, it wasn't that all that bad because there were some good things about this film, which did prevent this film from being like a 4 or a 5 or something, and I'll discuss them now. So first off, the performance, as I mentioned, the performances were very good, but especially from Nicolas Cage. He is, as Dracula, is just the standout of the cast. But there's a few other things as well, like, I'll admit the humor was very good. Um, and there's even a scene at the beginning of the film where they actually recreate the iconic scene from the 1931 Dracula film with Bela Lugosi. The scene where he meets Renfield. Except they edited out Bela Lugosi and Warren Fry and they literally replaced him with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. They literally just edited their faces onto Warren Fry and Bela Lugosi, and it actually looks very good. I actually really liked that scene. Also there are some scenes where, like, where we see Dracula and looks very destroyed due to the fact that, like, he'd been burned and stuff, and, like, I'm not gonna lie, some of, like, the makeup that they did for it, like, the way they designed, like the destroyed Dracula and stuff, it actually looks very good, to be fair. And also, I'll admit there was a good amount of violence in this film, and I'll admit that the violence was actually very, very good. So overall, Renfield was a bit of a disappointment in terms of the plot, and it felt like two movies at once, and I was more interested in one half over the other. But to be fair, it did have some very good things, as I mentioned, that prevents it from being like a 5 out of 10 and stuff. So overall, I think Renfield is an alright film. It could have been a lot better, but there definitely was some stuff to enjoy in there. So, with that, I am going to give Renfield a 6 out of 10. So, hopefully The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which comes out the 18th of August, is a better Dracula film than this. I watched the trailer for it the other day, and not gonna lie, it actually does look very good, looks very scary. It's from the same director as Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, that's really my only concern, but aside from that, the film actually does look very good. But yeah, so with that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.